Welcome back. You're watching The Money Show with me, Kavita Thapliyal. There are plethora of funds available in the market to invest your hard-earned money, but how do you assess which is the right fund for your portfolio? What are the criteria that one should look at? To help you navigate through this maze, we have on board Anil Rego, who will founder CEO Right Horizons, who will help us understand what should be the changes made in the portfolio. But then also, if you want to send us your queries, you can WhatsApp us. Our WhatsApp number is 865-797-4571. You can also email us your queries on themoneyshow@etnow.tv. Hi Anil and good evening. We have Dr. Vishwas on the line with us. All right, we don't have him yet on the call, but then let's take up his question. He wants to invest 5 lakhs lump sum in small cap funds and for long term, and over here he specifies 5 years. That's the time horizon he's talking about. He wants to know where is the right time to invest in a small cap fund for the time period of 5 years, and for how long should he be invested, and Axis Small Cap, Nippon Small Cap, PGI Mid Cap, Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, Quant, ELSS, ICICI Nasdaq 100, SBI Gold Fund, HDFC Short Duration Fund. Okay, so let's just talk about dividing this 5 lakh and the kind of timing that's needed to enter the market with this amount of money.
Sure. I think first of all, we must keep in mind that small caps are the highest risk. Okay, so from that perspective, it can also be volatile. So you need to keep it within the overall exposure that is appropriate for you based on your own risk profile. So you need to look at what is the asset allocation overall and what is the amount that say you would be okay with putting into small cap funds, because from what I see he has a few small cap funds already there. So coming back to the funds that he has mentioned, okay, broadly I think he's chosen the funds reasonably well. The only fund that is possibly sort of underperformed right now is say the Axis Small Cap Fund, and if this is a fund that he holds, then it may make sense to move to another fund that he has mentioned there, which is Nippon Small Cap Fund. So that is something. The other is I would avoid doing say ICICI Nasdaq fund, the Nasdaq 100 index fund that he has. Okay, so and possibly move it into one of the diversified equity ones. Now coming back to this, that he wants to invest 5 lakh of rupees and he wants to do it in a small cap fund. Yes, I think one has already captured some of them. Ideally, now is not a bad time to invest in small caps, because based on our evaluation of market, I think ideally April would have been the best time, but I think we are in the early stages of a slightly longish, rally in our view in small cap funds. So I think PGIM mid cap can be looked at by him if he wants to just monitor. Nippon small cap, I think, is a good fund to do. Ideally, one can keep it across. If it's 5 lakhs, it depends on what is the size of his portfolio. Keep about overall 8 funds or so. Don't go too many beyond 8 funds. And if that's the case, then and the portfolio size is larger, then you can have it in a single fund. Otherwise, maybe you can split it into a couple of funds.
Recommendation for Dr. Vishwas. But then we move on. We have Mr. Johnson from Kerala on the phone line with us. Hello, good evening, sir. How are you doing? Mr. Johnson? Can you hear me? Hi, good evening, sir. Thank you so much for sending us your query. And you have about 20 lakhs you want to invest in mutual funds for the period of 5 years, right? Okay, I don't think so. I don't have him. I don't think I have him on the phone line. But then, since we've just mentioned the query, let's just answer this question for Mr. Johnson also. He has 20 lakhs and he wants to divide this money or investment into 3 years, 4 years, and 5 years, and he wants to keep it in 2 to 3 funds. What's your recommendation?
Yes. So, first of all, I think it's keeping in mind that he's a retired person. I think it makes sense to have a moderate or moderate to high risk level, depending on the other assets that he has. Right. So that's the first point from an overall level. The second is in terms of what are the funds that he can look at. Yes, if he's looking at small cap funds, then I think 4 to 5 years is a good time frame that one needs to look at it. But possibly one could sort of avoid them. So what I would suggest is do a combination of these, which can be large cap, which can be ICICI blue chip in the large cap category. You can look at HDFC Flexi Cap in the Flexi Cap category. And apart from the pure equity ones, I also think that maybe 50% of his portfolio can be in hybrid funds. One of them can be an aggressive hybrid, like an ICICI Pru equity and debt aggressive hybrid. And to be conservative, I think he can use a balanced advantage fund. Now, a balanced advantage fund basically has a dynamic asset allocation between debt and equity. So as markets go up, the fund moves into debt. As market comes down, it moves into equity. So it counters the risk very well. So if there's he requires monthly income and stuff like that, the HDFC Balanced Advantage Fund in the BAF category, Balanced Advantage Fund category, I think is one of the better ones to invest. If he wants to be more conservative, then he can expand this. And especially if he requires some sort of regular or monthly income, I think this is a good fund to look at in that category.
All right. We have Himanshu online with us, Anil. And hi, good evening, Himanshu. How are you doing today?
Yes, fine, ma'am.
Thank you so much for sending us your question. We have your portfolio. Is there anything that you want to add?
Yeah, just what I mean to say that I have a SIP of 1,50,000 as I have disclosed with you on your WhatsApp chat.
Right.
I just want to know that whether it's correct, the combination is correct of the various funds which I have, or do I need to make some changes in it?
Okay.
Because I don't have any goal. It's just for my financial freedom, and I have sufficient funds to needs and everything.
Okay.
So it's just for saving purpose and having financial freedom.
Fantastic. And thank you so much. You've really planned your portfolio really well, and you are on the path of financial freedom, I guess. In fact, Anil will do the checkup on that. Anil?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. First of all, congratulations to Mr. Himanshu. I think he has done a great job in, spreading out his investments. Also, not too many funds, okay, but, maybe what is it that he can tweak around among the funds? See, he has something like I say Nifty 50 index fund, which I think is a good thing to have. Okay, so then he's also broken it up, some of the funds, emerging blue chip is a large and mid cap. He has a couple of in fact, 3 small cap funds. One is Edelweiss, Cantor Beco, and also Quant Small Cap. Okay, so among these, I think what I just wanted to highlight is Quant Small Cap has been a very aggressive fund. Okay, so you need to keep that in mind. So I wanted to highlight, so I actually put it on watch for you. So depending on what perspective, if you are willing to put aside some money into really high risk, then this is something that we can do. So if you look at risk measures like standard deviation, etc., it's much higher for this fund. And interestingly, this fund also did well because it participated in the Adani stocks. So it did see volatility, because of that as well. So my point is that is one fund that, just need to keep in mind that is a high risk fund. The other fund which he has, which is a mid cap fund, I mean, 2 of them, PGIM mid cap and White Oak mid cap. I think PGIM is a very good fund and it's been consistent and doing well. But the White Oak mid cap is something that, I think one can sort of exit, okay, and possibly go and put that back into PGIM mid cap. Yeah.
All right, we move on, and the last caller is from Punjab, Abhijit. Hi, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you so much for sending us your question. And you want to invest 80,000 per month, and you want to reach the target of 10 crores in 5 years, right? 5 crores in 10 years. I'm sorry, it's the other way around.
7 years be possible?
All right, that's a very substantial amount of investment, Anil.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I compute the numbers offhand like that, but I think you just need to look at it from a future value. I'd say 12-15%, depending on the risk that you're willing to take. If it comes to that figure, then that is good. Okay, but the whole point is having an objective in mind is a good thing to do. So I think it's good to look at it and have an aspirational one, and possibly if you are falling short of it, you can review it every 2-3 years, and possibly on a yearly basis increase it in line with inflation. Now so if you are find that you're not able to achieve that goal, then you need not be disheartened, and just keep in mind that you can increase it with inflation, and keep on increasing your SIP. So that is one thing. The other aspect is, if you want some of these higher numbers, then possibly you have to take higher level of risk, right? So if you you can do that in a combination of, say, multi-cap funds, and you can do a combination of large and mid caps, and also mid and small caps. So I think if you just go back and spread it out across all of them, possibly depending on the risk level that you would like to take, you can see whether you want to do a higher percentage of mid and small cap funds. This next maybe couple of years, I think, is going to be good for mid and small cap funds.
So the right kind of diversification, I guess, is needed for that. On that note, thank you so much, Anil, for being on the show and helping our viewers with their financial portfolio today. And before signing off, I'm going to leave our viewers with our WhatsApp number and email ID, where you can send us your mutual fund portfolio related queries, and we will get it answered by our experts on the show live. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.